Joining me today is New Hampshire Senator Dan Feltes. Dan, thanks so much for being here again, and I want to keep our conversation going. This issue of the Medicaid expansion, the bill's about to sunset, is important, and we talked about sort of the need to get it done in the first segment, and I want to keep talking about what in the long run it ought to look like. And so let's talk a little bit about the funding. I realize that both parties may compromise on funding right now, should the bill pass. But how is it currently being funded? Because the federal government pays 90%, and the state's going to kick in 10. Is that?
Well, it's more than that, but I mean, right now, anyways.
Yeah.
But the upshot is hundreds of millions of dollars come in from the federal government into our economy to help with uncompensated care and to help ensure over 48,000 granted staters. It's essential to our economy. Now, the question about funding right now is, look, it's a 2-year reauthorization. It's not a permanent reauthorization. And the hospitals and insurance companies and other folks are working in good faith with legislators and legislative leadership, including Senator Bradley and Governor Hassan, on trying to work something out that is palatable for folks. And again, as we talked in the last segment, my preference would be to permanently reauthorize it and provide that certainty to the granted state economy, to granted staters, to our providers who are building out capacity for substance use disorder treatment and prevention, and provide that certainty. However, there is a preference by some to do a shorter term 2-year reauthorization, and that's just the way the legislative process works. Different people have different views, and on something as important as this, people make compromises and they try to do their best to work it out. One of the things that I think a shorter reauthorization period helps to counteract is this worry that the federal government won't continue the high level of support that that it's doing right now. And 2-year reauthorization provides people some opportunity to take a look at, well, in the next year or two, what does the federal government do with respect to the high level of support it's providing right now. So at the end of the day, it's something really important that we get done. I mean, it's so critical for our economy. Hundreds of millions of dollars have come in already. Jobs have been created. We've slowed the rate of health insurance premium increases. We reduced uncompensated care, like I said, which is a hidden tax on everyone. And we've provided for a healthier workforce. Now we just need to reauthorize it so those things continue. It's the most important thing that we need to get done this year, John.
What do you think it'll get done?
I'm optimistic, and I think, again, it requires people working together. As you and I have talked about several times, John, it's no one person or one political party has a monopoly over good ideas. Everybody's just got to sit down and work it out. And
we're a state where that generally happens. I mean,
generally.
Yeah. not always. But, right. I mean, we are a state where I think you see, in New Hampshire, you see, a lot of people, it's a citizen electorate. I mean, a citizen legislature.
Yeah, it can be comfortable to sink back into rigid ideology rather than engage in what is oftentimes uncomfortable compromise. So uncomfortable compromise is how government works. So people have to sit down and work it out. Bring your ideas to the table. Folks who are watching at home and listening at home, get active. The legislators listen. I listen, other legislators listen to what citizens have to say. Contact your state representative, contact your state senator, write emails, attend hearings, have your voice heard. It's so important.
And it's easy to find out who they are, going on the website for the state, and it's easy to look up your person if you don't know. And everybody's got an email address there. So, I mean, as a state, it's relatively easy to figure out who to contact.
It is, and people are, by and large, very responsive. Sometimes there's a high volume of emails or phone calls to get to, and if it's a busy week with committee hearings in session, it might take a bit of time for folks to get back to folks. But the upshot is when people come to a committee hearing And there are some folks who have little orange badges. Those are the lobbyists. You have to get an orange badge, and you have to wear it on your lapel or wherever you want to wear it.
If you don't have the orange badge, people look at you. You're just an ordinary person.
You're an ordinary person, and that testimony is the most compelling.
Okay.
When people come to committee hearings, and you may be apprehensive or nervous, and it takes some courage to go and speak out publicly. But when you show up, when our neighbors show up, when the non-lobbyists show up, where people show up and talk about what's compelling to them, to their lives, to their families' lives, it makes much more of an impact than the folks with the orange badges walking around. So I encourage everybody to engage.
I do too, and right now I have to engage with a commercial.
Okay.
But when we come back, we're going to talk about other issues in the legislature, so please stay with us.